topic we're going to be talking about is going to be reverse dieting. I want to talk to you guys about basically why yo-yo diets don't work and how the science-based approach to losing fat long-term, okay? So if you guys found yourself on all of these up and down diets, you lose weight, you gain it back, then you try the diet again, you don't lose the weight as fast, and then you gain it back again. And it's almost like an up and down, and you just feel like there is no end to achieving your goals and maintaining that. We're gonna be going over how to do it today, how to fix your metabolism. Basically, we're gonna be talking about how to master your metabolism and rebuild it after long-term caloric restriction for long-term fat loss. So short and simple, let's get started. So first off, guys, if you are going for fat loss, yes, you need to be in a caloric deficit. It takes around 3,500 calories. You have to burn 3,500 calories to burn 1 pound of fat. So a lot of people, when they want to lose weight, they go into a fat loss phase. They increase their cardio, they bring their calories. Sometimes they bring them down to 1,000, 1,200 calories. They're in a deficit. They're losing fat. They're losing it at a good rate. They achieve their results. They're hitting their cardio. They get their body, they get where they want to be, and then what happens? They get their results, they add the food back in, and the weight goes right back up. And then they want to lose the weight again, so they go back to the lower caloric deficit. But what happens is the metabolism adapts every single time. So what can you guys do? If you've been on low calories for a long time, your body has hit that plateau and you no longer can lose weight on those calories and you're stuck, this is the approach that I take with my clients. This is the approach that I took with myself, and this is what you need to do to basically achieve that body. So first off, when you are on a caloric deficit, you are putting your body in a state of stress. You are doing a lot of cardio, which is going to be producing cortisol, or stress hormone. You may have a lot going on in your life, work, you're hustling, you're grinding. That's going to create stress. Then on top of that, the cardio, the training is going to create stress. Stress puts your body in that state again of the fight or flight response. So basically everything is going to the stressor, and long-term elevated cortisol levels can lead to things in terms of you're going to be retaining water. Your adrenals may start getting burned out. Energy starts going down, motivation, strength in the gym, all of that starts plateauing the longer you're on the caloric deficit. Other adaptations that happen when you're on the caloric deficit is you're gonna realize that you start not feeling full anymore. Yeah, you're on a caloric deficit, you're gonna be hungrier, but your just satiety hormones kind of start going off. So we have two different types of hormones. You have your leptin and your ghrelin, okay? Your ghrelin is your hunger hormone. Your leptin is your satiety hormone. And the longer that you're on a caloric deficit, those two actually switch. So what happens is you're not as satisfied and you're hungry even more, okay? Other adaptations that happen with long-term caloric deficit is your thyroid levels get thrown off, and your thyroid is like the huge thing that has to do with your metabolism, as well as different hormones get thrown off in the body as well, okay? So when my clients are on that long-term caloric restriction, the first thing that I do is they come to me, I talk with them, I do their consult, and say for instance, someone's been on a deficit for around a year, they're eating 1,000 calories, they cannot lose weight. Their stress is through the roof, they're doing cardio 45 minutes a day, and they don't see the end of it. First off, what do? I want to get their hormones back on track. If I can fix their hormones and get their hormones back on track, we can get their metabolism going, we can get their energy up, and then everything from there is going to go up. So the first step that I do is I look at their calories. I switch up their training. I bring them more to a strength periodization. So what we're focusing on is we're bringing the cardio down, we're bringing the strength training up, focusing on progressive overload, meaning we're trying to increase the weight, hitting those heavy compound movements so that we can really build as much lean muscle mass as possible. I'm bringing the cardio down because that's very high cortisol producing, And I want to lower their cortisol levels and take the stress off of their body so that I can balance out their hormones. So step number one, what I do is I change up their training. I get them to a strength periodization split. I slowly, over the course of a few weeks, few months, taper down their cardio. And then the other thing that I'm doing is I'm slowly bringing their calories up and adding in different supplements to help with their hormones. I make their macros based off of their body, but I slowly bring them up because I slowly want to build their metabolism. As they start strength training, pushing for the progressive overload, bringing the cardio down, the energy tends to go up. Yeah, the strength goes up. The hunger cues start going up. And then other things start balancing out in the body. They may notice, wow, the calories are going up. I got a bunch of fats in my diet. Some of my clients that have lost their period end up getting their period back. They start seeing transformations in their physique. When the fat mass goes down and that metabolism goes up, sometimes they look like they're losing weight, even though the number on the scale is not going down. Okay, guys? This is like huge. So in terms of long-term caloric restriction, if you've been on that diet for a long time and you want to have permanent fat loss, stop the yo-yo dieting, okay? Low carb diets, if you can't see yourself doing this diet 6 months, a year, 2 years from now, then it is not going to be sustainable, okay? I can't see myself not eating carbs for years at all. So it's not going to be sustainable for me, and neither is my fat loss going to be sustainable. So if you're in this position, I would suggest the first thing is looking into your training, creating more of a strength period approach, focusing on building your metabolism, building your lean muscle mass, and building your strength and your confidence in the gym. Slowly back down that cardio and start tracking your food. Make adjustments in your macronutrients each week. As your metabolism is going up, slowly add in the carbohydrates. Make sure you're getting enough fats for your hormone production and enough protein to build that lean muscle mass as well. I like to aim for around 0.8 grams per pound of body weight for my protein. I like to take my body weight and I do it around 25% is the lowest I will go with fat. And then I fill in the rest of my calories with carbohydrates, since they're the body's number one fuel source by the muscles during training, okay? How long do you need to reverse diet before you go into a fat loss phase? So this is all gonna depend upon the person. If the person has been doing a caloric deficit and restrictions and these keto, low carb, all these diets for a long time, it could take, I'm gonna be honest, the most I've seen it take is 2 years. The shortest amount of time I've seen a reverse diet needed was 2 to 6 months. And how do you know when you're done with reverse dieting and it's time to go into that caloric, the deficit and the fat loss phase? So what I would do is follow my steps: the progressive overload, the slowly increasing your calories, the tapering off the cardio, really pushing it hard in the gym. Again, make sure your sleep is on point. Make sure you're managing your stress levels. Get your stress levels down. This is a lifestyle approach, guys. Please. And once you do that and you slowly bring your calories up, I say at least spend around 6 months the first time. Spend 6 months trying to build as much lean muscle mass as possible. At that 6 month mark, take yourself into a caloric deficit of around 200 to 300 calories a day. Add in a little bit of cardio and give yourself like 2 to 3 weeks to see if you could start seeing that scale move or seeing your waist measurements go down, all of that, any cues that you can see in terms of fat loss. If your body is not responding within like 3 weeks, go back into your reverse diet, slowly add the calories back in, and spend another 2 to 6 months on the reverse diet, okay? And then try this again. You need to take time to reverse diet properly, to build your metabolism, to build the lean muscle mass, because if you just spend 2 weeks on a reverse diet, oh, I ate the calories, your body's metabolism, the hormones, everything, it doesn't heal in that amount of time. So what happens is you're gonna go back into the fat loss too soon, you're not gonna lose the weight, and then what happens is you're gonna feel defeated. So I'm gonna lay it out one more time for you, and then I have something else I wanna tell you at the end. So all in all, if you guys are going for long-term fat loss and you're looking to build your metabolism after years of caloric restriction, change up your training, focus on progressive overload. Slowly taper down the cardio and slowly add in the calories, making sure you're getting the right macronutrients. And there's tons of calculators online, bodybuilding.com, or you could even reach out to me if you guys need help with this, okay? Spend at least 6 months on this time frame, slowly increasing your calories over that time frame, trying to push for more PRs in the gym, trying to increase the weight, build your metabolism before taking it into a slight caloric deficit. Take at least 2 to 3 weeks on that deficit, slowly adding in the cardio, bringing down your food. And then if your body doesn't respond, take it back into that reverse diet. And if your body does respond, crush it. Freaking go crush it. Once you hit your goals, no matter how many months, whatever it takes you, once you hit your body, your physique that you want, you need to do it right. You need to come out of that right. So if you have lost the weight, you don't want to just go throw the calories back in because you have something called metabolic adaptation that has happened. So what you want to do is almost like the same thing or as a reverse diet. You want to slowly add the calories back in, slowly bring the cardio down with minimal to no weight gain. So you just got to track everything, track it in MyFitnessPal, track your weight, and slowly add the calories back in. Your energy is going to go up, maintaining that physique. And that's exactly what you guys got to do. As you are doing all of this, remember, stress is going to be so big in all of this. So if you guys are high stress in terms of stress with work, tons of cardio, and just stress with everything in life, you need to address that first. That's gonna be key. I use different types of like adrenal supplements to help with my stress response, but I would say get that stress management under control at the same time as doing all of this, and you're gonna have long-term results. Before I get going, I do want to tell you guys a little bit of background on me. I have my 4-year degree in kinesiology from the University of Tennessee. I'm a certified strength and conditioning specialist. I went back to school for holistic nutrition, and I'm a GAPS practitioner. When I was, 13, I was on severe antidepressants, almost 200 pounds. And after that, I actually ended up becoming severely anorexic. And I got down into like 90 pounds. My goal was always to build my body, get my health back, and one day I just hit the wall and I just couldn't take it anymore. I felt like shit. I had no energy. I looked horrible, and I hit adrenal burnout. I had 15 types of parasites, H. pylori, my liver was failing, and I'm like, I didn't even have my period anymore. I didn't have my period for 7 years, and I was like, this is not gonna get me anywhere. So what did I do is I spent 5 years reverse dieting. I built myself from 90 pounds up to 180 because I told myself I would not go into a caloric deficit until I fell in love with my body, and I was just so confident and felt amazing and knew I would not fall back into my eating disorder. During those 5 years, I spent so much time just crushing it in the gym. I was doing powerlifting, really building as much lean muscle mass. As a natural athlete, you could build around 3 to 4 pounds of muscle a year. So I spent those 5 years putting on tons of muscle, and then I spent 9 months on a cut. I took it very slow. I dropped my weight during that time frame, hopped on stage and competed, and then I reverse dieted myself out of that. So I'm gonna be going after my pro card next year. Pro card figure, guys. And right now, my cardio is I go for daily walks. I'm training 6 days a week of strength training. I hit each muscle 2 times a week for frequency, and I just created a whole newfound love for bodybuilding. And if you guys have just been on that cardio grind for years, the yo-yo dieting for years, I would suggest just really changing it up. Make some of these steps. If you guys need help, reach out to me. My Instagram is ElizabethAylorFitness. You could email me at ElizabethAylorFitness@gmail.com. I specialize in this. I work with over 400 people all around the world. I'm a celebrity trainer, and I would love to work with you guys. So I hope you guys have an incredible day, and I hope this was helpful today. And stay